Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? Yo, I've been play. I will play. Oh, Underground Labyrinth. Today I decided to play Heavenly Tower. I wake up ready to play Heavenly Tower. So that can be cool, right? Also, we have Maiden Cat to unlock. I don't know where. We'll see. Today we'll play some conditions. Cat, cat. I don't think I have any. Well, let's see if we can get some Cat Academy cat. And we got one! Is that the giraffe cat? Tomboy lion cat. Okay. Our first Heartbeat Academy cat. That's so cool. Wait, I cannot upgrade. What? Is this a bug? Tomboy lion cat. Level 1 plus 29. Oh. So you cannot upgrade him? Huh. I didn't know. That's crazy. I don't think we can do this stage with only one. I don't think. Like we can try. Level 1. Oh wait. Since we're doing this, we can go with cat combo. My bread and butter cat combo. And if I'm not wrong, wait. Yep, here it is. Yay! So we have money up and we have attack power up. They're both medium. That's cool. Is that there? We're fighting the most difficult dynamic. We add an enemy. Gamble. Okay, let's try to scale it up. Oh, they didn't. Okay. I thought it would not. Love letter. Can we get new cat? Maybe more consistent one. We got one. Let's see. Secret Crush Cat. Area attack And massive dashes. Oh, motherfucker. Okay. Yeah, sure, come along. We got one more cat we can use. And this secret crush cat. So cool. So cool. Let's go. We can do this. I want to dance. Oh, she's quite cool. Massive damage and area attack. That's insane. Oh no! Air! Ah! Holy shit! She's so strong. Oh, she did the 1000 damage? Holy crap. We got more love letters. Can we get one more? With a different one. Nope. We are in lucky as hell. Can we... Wait, what are the missions? Play confession? Sure. We're doing missions. We're doing first the missions and then Heavenly Tower. Let's go. Bum 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 banana holy crap. Oh, she cannot one shot. Okay. I think everything is fine. Everything's going to be fine. Nothing to worry about here. Holy crap. There's two of them! I'm sorry, but... Oh, the confession didn't work. No. Courage Skull did rightly reply. I'm sorry, but no. Oh no. We can clear school. Okay. First, let's get another one. And this one is guaranteed. Got CPU. And we got another one. Welcome, my friend. Class rep cat. That's nice. We already have 3. I think it's 4. If I'm not wrong. Let's get some cat tickets. And we got tank and research. Cool. I'm farming cat tickets here. Oh, we are over fast! Holy shit, I forgot. Damn, bro. We got over fast. Do we do it? No one is in chat. Sure. they all have evolved forms. Wait, what? There's more? Ooh. Oh, Neto Kosha. I already unlocked the altar. I've been using sometimes. Come here, I draw. I get bad luck. And we can offer XP. Also, we don't have much. Let's do another confession. This one is going to be great. You just need to believe it. One more courageous goal. Courageous. Let's go. Oh, now it's normal enemy. Finally. Wait, what does this? Slow on red and black. Okay, fantastic. Strong against flash. Massive damage at Traceless. That's so cool! Let's go. I like that I have anti-Traceless now. I mean, I already have, but... Let's go. Oh, she has area attack. That's right. Holy shit. She does so much damage. Wait, how much damage does she do? We got a cat ticket. Oh wow. Wait, how strong is she? Secret... cat... no, crash... cat. So she does 300 damage. 12 damage. 175. Yeah, she does quite a lot. We also have Occultist Cat. 400. Ooh, she's cool. She does more damage. But I like the anti-Traceless. Let's go! Let's do this! Let's do it! Damn, bro. No one is here. I love the music in this game. Oh, you're so dead. Kill it! Oh fuck. I am so dead. Okay, everything is fine, everything is awesome, everything is cool. This is my meat shield. The giraffe cat is my meat shield. I forgot her name. One more courageous call, the dreaded reply. I really am sorry. Holy shit! Okay, let's go. This one stars. This is different. Oh, he's not dying. Okay, he's dead. I was scared for a bit. Oh no. Oh no, this is not looking great. No one survived a single strike from elephant. Do they? Oh, okay, no. They're dead. Yeah. No. Come on. 9 seconds. Oh fuck. Oh fuck, he's too close. He didn't hit. No. Come on. Come on. Come on now. I got it. No. Come on. Yes. Let's fucking go. Oh, my base is very far from that. They are really are away. Everyone here is quick. But no one is upgraded. That's the problem. Oh, a red ticket. I was not needing. Okay, let's do school 1. Oh, we can use the normal now. Okay, let's do the mission. Oh, we should have done this one. Okay. This one should be done beforehand. Okay, but no. The drop eraser. Okay, things are starting to look dire somewhat. Oh, I cannot play anymore. God damn it. What can I do? Nothing. Okay, let's play Heavenly Tower. We're playing Heavenly Tower today. Okay, no, we can keep the cat combo. I'm planning on using a different strategy than I normally use. I'm upgrading last spot, but it's taking a while. But first, let's upgrade continent. Here. Oh, I should have upgraded Sadako. Oh. Okay. The shit is done. Okay, this is what we're doing. We're doing half of the loadout. Let's go. Bam, bam, bam. Bam. Come on, let's go. Pow. Barely any money. We can hear them later. We can hear them later. But they need to load up. They need to load up. Come on, Ken. God damn it. Too slow, Ken. Little slow, Ken. Come on, now! Fuck. Maybe I don't need all of this. I can just bring, let's speed it up and bring, Giraffe and Carrier, yeah. Let's go. This is my loadout. Did I not change the title? I did not. Okay. And you... Okay. Let's keep going. Jesus Christ. Oh! Giraffe is completely intimating the bear. Holy shit. That board there. Let's climb that tower. Oh, Koopy! Hello! Hello. What the hell are you speaking? My bed tweet, my lunch was running on my keyboard. Oh yes, I know how it is. Oh, that courier is ready to attack. Oh no! Metal enemy! No! I cannot snipe the base. Hello, Cupid, we're doing Heavenly Tower. Imagine still having to do Heavenly Tower. I'm doing it for the first time, okay? So yeah, as I said. Yeah, but I never knew. Damn, bro. You wasted fire. Am I hitting well? You're doing well. You're doing well. You're nice. You're the nice hater. Stupid. Nice hater. Okay. Well then. I'm already in a bad mood from pulling Raiden. Which Raiden? The guy already got to level 50. Oh, that being said, I have around 20 tickets, rare tickets. More or less 20 tickets to you. God damn! Let's pull girly pop. What? You mean nurse? Or ice cat? This might think of it. Tickets always on Uberfest. Okay, let's see what we get. Whew. I swear to God. Uber! Nah. Have you been tracking? No, I have not been tracking. I don't even know how to do that. How do you do tracking? I mean, maybe it would not be a good idea to do on stream. It's really easy, but ruins the fun. I mean, it depends on... Okay, yeah, I know. It's simple to use, right? I was distracted for a bit. Yes, always is. Nah, this one is NP. This one is NP garbage. Ramen, Chingon, etc. Always is. This fish can go. You're going for to the NP garbage. Does this one go to or? Yeah, it goes to NP. I guess you can keep. Okay. Sure, I guess. I mean, it can be useful to survive a bit more because of dodge. Gets better, but not really that useful right now. Sure. If it gets better, then it's better to get it over not. Oh, Juliet Cat. This one is NP, right? It's not really that useful. Yeah, NP. Let's see. And we got the Catlinger NP. This guy is NP. Already Izanagi, so you cannot make me mad. Izanagi is the legend rare, right? That's cool. Where did my F go? I swear I typed F. I already have Izanagi. Bro, why would you... Okay, okay, my brain shut down for a second. Bro, if I got Izanagi, that would be so cool. I would love to have Izanagi. Wilcat? Okay, Wilcat, I don't know. if Wildcat, I mean, it does massive damage against aliens, but its range it sucks. Its range. Will it? Can go. Bye bye. I mean, it's just 5 NP. Okay, 5 NP can do a lot. Oh, I don't know. It was 20. 5 is a very big number, mind you. Yeah, it is. It does a lot. 5 plus 5, it does a lot. Bigger than 6. Yes. How do you know that? Did the Illuminati tell you? I didn't know you were expert in that type of shit. Come on! I think the game wants me to get Wildcat. You see, I know a lot of numbers. My uncle was a mathematician. I am a numbers master. I know lots of numbers. How's my Trump impression? You see, I know a lot of numbers, and my uncle was a mathematician. I am a numbers master. I know lots of numbers. To be honest, I don't know much about Trump. About to get a content. Hello, my friend.
Underscore content. Show us what you got. https://youtube.b/rhpr3vv8x C equals 74 httj2x0 vfmlvl.
Single specific thing, if I'm not going to lie. Hello man, hello bro.
Key_Baba just wanted to say. Oscopy.
Oscopy. You normally can't. I normally stream every Saturday or I forgot the name in English because I am a dumbass. Sunday, on Sundays or Saturday. Damn, doesn't get color. So it really depends. It really depends on. I mean, I am kinda consistent. Let's forget the last two streams or the last 3 weeks or 4. I don't know. Next will finna be an Uber ride. Okay.
Key_Baba just wanted to say.
That would
Next
be
pull
cool.
finna be an Uber Rare Trust.
That would be cool. Okay, here is. Let's see the Battle Cat's Heinous Road. We got the solid road up here. We got solid. Oh, is that Manic? Oh. Manic? No, Rain One. Yeah, and the Rain One Riot. Why is that guy so strong? What the hell? Oh, he's down Rain One. Come on, Cosmos. Fuck! And for Noah, Lunacia, we got the gang here. Oh no.
Key_Baba just wanted to say.
Imagine no one can. That was really cool. Holy shit. We got Bigler. This sounds familiar. Damn, those massive damage. Jesus Christ. Bahamas! No, my boy! How they massacre my boy? No! Godwood! Break them down! Oh! Okay, he actually did. Come on. Clean. Okay, now he's nice. We got a few lions. Took me 2.5 years to beat. For Heinous Road, I was gonna get double strong against Aku as Orb and max out my boy Hayabusa. Much NP. I tried. Yeah.
Ka_content just wanted to say. Giabu, get ready.
Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can get a Uber now.
Ka_content water. Need water.
Yes, water. Thanks, guys. Let's get an Uber. I'm not even going to look. Wait. I'm not even going to look. Is it an Uber? No, it's not. Bro, I would spend all my 800 water, but it's not a stock. Cooper. Jesus Christ. Okay, Bolter. Okay, a great question. Do I NP Bolter or do I use him? Because Bolter does nice damage. It's not his speciality, but he does nice damage.
Key_Baba just wanted to say.
Yes,
Soklix cask sokus cox sox lakes local sox local sokals cox las class classical soklis classical.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. It's now. And Uber. Oh fuck! Oh fuck! That's Holy fuck, bro. That's the last stroke you fucking Goofy. I don't have Legend Drive for 2.5 years. Why? I'm touching the apron. I'm indeed unlucky. I'm leaving the kitchen. Guys, this is my first Legend Rare. It's insane, right? Yeah, I'm out. Wait, guys. Why don't I have an XP? Guys, Is this legend rare good? I mean, I'm going to use him, but is he good? Daybreaker Izanagi. It's the best? Wait, you're shitting me? Are you shitting me? Okay, massive damage! Insane damage. Immune to freeze, wave, curse, conjure. Oh, it's single attack. I mean, it's long distance, so that's cool. It's the best. He has insane damage on everything. That is times 6. Oh, did it times 6? Holy shit. Okay, that's insane. Okay, sorry guys. That was shit. That was shit, I know. That was shit. Oh, my first legend rare. Oh, holy shit, he's high. He's slow. Look at him, look at my boy. How does he attack? Oh, he has a multi-hit attack. And a conjure. Oh wait, that's fire. Deals knockback and slow? Damn. The prelude to all I ever was. Descend from a higher plane. Manifest desires and conjures to the battlefield. Insane damage to traitors. On the third use, he can outrange every single Master A variant. Oh, that's fire. Holy shit. Now I need XP. I don't have XP. Wait a minute. Guys, I don't think. Do I go further in Uberfest? Go back to pulling or I'll claim your account. Okay, let's keep going. Now it's a rare. We got the rare. Look at this. Okay, it pushes. That's nice actually. I thought we were going to get maybe Tip Cat. And now it's uber rare. Okay, it's not. Fuck. Pirate. Now it's the newer rare. Trust me, guys. No. If I got another Uber rare, or if I get an Uber rare, that would be insane. If you get anything. Oh wait, I got Nerdcat. Nerdcat in NP, right? I'll get your Portuguese dad. NP. Fucking nerd. Even though I'm a nerd myself. Oh, Bishop. Oh shit, that's right. Team Cat. Wait, what's the Team Cat do? Teen is NP? Oh, knockback against Black. That's shit. That's so ass. That's actually yes. Only yes. Cat. Wait. What do I do with Cat? NP2? Really? I mean, sure, I guess. I mean, you can upgrade his HP, which is really good for a mid shield. Maybe tank some. Okay, NP. I got it. Holy shit. Oh, Surfer Cat. NP? Or use? I don't know this one actually. He's very useful, but he's not useful because of his HP or damage. And use, okay. Yeah, well, like maybe survival and some more HP could be good. Dude! NP, yeah, that I know. But that's funny. That's funny. I got another Uber. 50 NP, Jesus Christ. Oh, only NP. Imagine getting another Uber. That would be so funny. I swear. Okay, Thief Cat. Hey, I love Thief Cat. Man, I'm gonna use him. I love Thief Cat. Cupid, I'm gonna use, and you get the best cat in the game for the last ticket, of course. Yes, I got the best one. Thief Cat is great. Oh wait, I got a starter special. Bro, this shit is going to be an Uber. No! This shit is going to be an Uber. Okay, it's not. But I got you scared. Suck it. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna use him because he can be useful on one stage I'm looking for. Just follow.
Mov_Mov just followed.
Hello, Mov. How are you doing? Shh. You don't know what just happened. Oh!
Champagne NG just followed.
Hello, Champagne. How are you? Jesus, we're getting some people. It's because we just got Daybreaker Izanagi. Oh, it's a raid! Oh, it's a raid! Why didn't I get an alert? What the hell? Twitch just didn't warn me about the raid. What the hell? He ended before I could tell him. Izanagi, goddamn. He didn't raid you for some reason, he just told us to go here. It's an unofficial raid. Either way, welcome to my stream. Hope you had a great stream over on your channel. We just did Overfest and got my first legend rare in ever. Daybreaker Izanagi. What chapter are you in? I just completed Into the Future chapter 3. It's time for level 16 Hayabusa, I guess. I just finished a while back chapter 3 of Into the Future, so I have Awakened Bahamut and Talent. I completed To the Future chapter 1 yesterday. Oh, that's nice. Kibaba, should I say something that will get me back? Hell nah. Oh wait, I can finally finish upgrading Can Cat. Also, we have nicknames from the other stream. Oh really? I don't know how that works. I'm upgrading Can to the max. You Diabo. You're the loser, of course. Sure, Cupid. Cupid is the hater. Is the family-friendly hater. Oh no, he's the employee hater. How am I supposed? How am I not supposed to hate? I love you too, Cupid. I love you too. I'm the big envy man. It's Triple M and Kivate Sprite. Kivate Sprite. This man. Guys, this man fits Metal Cyclone without critters. Yes, I did. It was. Why the fuck am I Sprite? I like that name, Sprite. I'm going to upgrade the living shit out of Ken. Okay, I got the maxed out talent Ken. Let's go. Vegan energy map. In double key stream, we made you a nickname. Yeah. Do you see track? No, I don't. I don't see track. But I just got this guy, and now I'm yet win. But why Sprite? Holy shit! I also got an Uber, but that I already had that Uber, so. Best legend rare, by the way. Are you guys really serious? I mean, Cupid and Battlecast content been here and said that. Yeah, we will be PT Cruiser. I am PT Cruiser now. I like that nickname. The PT Cruiser. Because PT29 is in your name. I don't know what 29 has to do with Cruiser. But that's cool. PT Loser. Cupid is so angry at me. Because I got a legend rare and a Uber in 20 rolls. 23. Twin, I swear. I will show you a better nickname. Triple map. Don't do it. No! I like Sprite. Why? Well, I can't be mad given my luck. Then why are you mad, bro? Why are you mad? I think I know what name you will give. I will be free will. Yes. But go ahead. I also have Dark Beast Lord Garrett, so I have everything covered. I have a tank traitless, and you got timeout for it. I might get banned from this stream. Holy shit, is that serious? Oh, now I need XP. Oh, okay, we got weakened. I really want to upgrade Izanagi. I really want to upgrade Izanagi. I want to see her power, his power. I don't know his name. I don't know if he or she or it. He didn't say it directly, but indirectly by saying ninja and something like that. Izanagi best legend, bro. I want to see its power. Copy. Replace. Water.
Mauve water. Need water.
I barely have any water. I need to go get water.
Baba just wanted to say. Explode.
Ah!
Mauve posture check.
Oi. Terrorist face. Holy shit. I like Sprite because I don't like Sprite, you know. I like the nickname Sprite because I don't like Sprite.
Darren Love the Battle Cats just followed.
Thanks for the follow! Darren Love the Battle Cats. No shit, I have to do the weekend stage to farm XP. You do? So it's better to hurry up. I also forgot I have Little Valkyrie. Did it know? Oh, maxed out Can. It's so cool. I finally have a maxed out Can. That's so cool. Holy shit. Hello, do you play Labyrinth? Maybe. At least it's... Yeah, at least farming XP. The Labyrinth. Maybe. Maybe I'll do. That would be fun, I guess. I never played the Labyrinth. Even on my main account, I never did. I am on 19 level, maybe it's like this. Oh, I'm kinda new to this game. Okay guys, that's what your eyes. It's as moment. It's from Temu! Fuck! No! Shut up, Temu! What the shit that? I love seat tracking. I don't do seat tracking. I might learn it to use on my main account. What the shit? I might use it on my main account when I learn it. But I will never use seat tracking on this account. This account will be tracker. You track? Darren, I don't know. Darren, do you track?
The fabric is buttery soft. I mean it. It has a lot of slink and drape to it that makes it very comfortable. I'm wearing a size medium here. Don't wait.
When you buy an iPhone 17 Pro Max Titanium case for $1, typical Temu. Shit you not. This is so shitty. I never buy anything from Temu, but I already bought from other ones like Temu, and that shit is so bad. Someone needs to make him drink more water. We need to be healthy. I mean, yes, actually, kinda. I need to drink water. Otherwise, I will die. That would not be fun.
Key underscore
Bro, I
bottom
forgot
sound.
I have
Toothless
this.
dancing short fade out.
I forgot I have this sound. Oh, I'm bringing it to another level. Wait, is it anything? No. Yay! You thought they will add in new update Dark Luno and new Zero Legend boss. I'm one dark eye shot. Dark eye shot. Dark Luno? How will Dark Luno be? I mean, besides having traitless targeting, probably. He probably will have. Wait! Does Luno. What does Luno. He doesn't target every trait, does he? Mate, he targets Black, Angel, Aku, and Relic. He doesn't target everything, so... Does the Dark Luno target the other ones, or just traitors? I have no idea of Dark Luno targeting. Doesn't look too bad. Charlie Kirk assassination explained.
Mov underscore mov underscore mov, show us what you got. Charlie Kirk assassination explained in Minecraft.
Do you want me to search that? Is that what you want me to do? On YouTube? Okay, okay, I can do that, I think. Yeah, I'm certain, I'm certain. Holy shit. What the fuck is this? I never watched it, but it looks very big. Okay, okay, never mind, it looks so bad to fight. Okay. You can solo Inferno Tower on 60 levels. Watch it. I'm gonna watch it. Subtitles. Okay. By the way, how is moderator on stream work? Wait a second about that. Trump. Is this based on true events? Disclaimer: this is an informative display on recent events surrounding Charlie Kirk, but not to Minecraft. Holy shit! I was not watching this with the intent of this actually being. I didn't know who Charlie Kirk was. I didn't know about this. Damn. That actually was good. Okay, so what did you click? Okay, about the moderator on stream works. You can pin message, ban, timeout, and all that. Yeah, it basically it. What is this clip? Oh, someone clipped me. Wait, you guys were not hearing the video? Yeah, we didn't. Oh, I didn't know. Hey, that sucks. Yeah, we didn't hear. We didn't hear. Oh, I didn't know. Damn. Okay, let's then play Heavenly Tower. As I intended to do. Is my Izanagi now strong enough? Let's test. I don't know what to use or not to use. Okay, this is the very beginning, so I'm gonna bring the best unit. Just on my epic cat food. No, don't sell your epic cat food, please. Do not do that. That sounds like a waste. Okay, now I'm gonna bring in the Nagi. This is going to be for testing. This is for testing. Let's see. No! Wrong one. This is frying me. What? Okay, let's go. Let's test the Izanagi out. Okay, Izanagi. Go forth! Holy shit! Okay, she's cool. She's cool, I don't know. She's so cool. Holy shit. Holy shit. She's so strong. You just need to only one use though. You can only play it on a one at a time. That's nice. I don't really need it. She's really strong. And it's just one attack. You just need to cover her one big weakness, which is area attack. You don't because you don't have area attack. You might need to. What Ubers do you have? I'll help you for combo for Izanagi. I think one of the best ones made it Izanagi. 8 tanks and 9 damage. I have another possible version of that with Dark Lord Garu. Dark Lord Garu can cover Bracelet and hit a tank. And he does area attack and wave. Area attack and wave. If we go here. Dark Beast Lord Garu. And we take this guy out because why not? This is a good combination. Wait, since I already have Izanagi, I can bring maybe like Ken instead of this guy. Okay, yeah. I was thinking of another thing, but oh well. Ken is going to be for that extra dana. Water.
Mauve water. Need water.
Refreshing. Not really, but still okay. The thanks bracelet so everyone has bracelet. Yeah, that was the idea. I think Mavi is thirsty, not you. It's really you need water. I think he's very thirsty. Look at this. Holy shit. This is so cool. I mean, I don't know how haze works. Are you on his table and you drink it from the same bottle? Ew. Holy shit. You're drinking from the same bottle. Yeah, he's my father. I am his father. Wait, since when? Since I am not the father. Congratulations. No, I have what to do? Mob Life was 5 years ago. Now it's only us. Yeah, take some water. Take some water. Yeah. Cool. Very yummy. You like it, huh? What am I doing? No! Knock back! Okay, this guy is dead. This guy is so dead. Come on! No! Can't kill it! Holy shit, courier! Courier for the protection. Holy shit. Okay, I don't like this very much. Holy shit! And then your daughter is Ken or something. Yeah, Ken is Mav's sister. High cortisol. So he's an entire leg for it unhappy, by the way. Yes, yes. I did. Father, please feed me. When you get me another legend rare. Okay, I will. How can I get epic speed? I don't know. How do you do that? That's actually a great question. You're moving too close to the enemy. SOL. Oh. Give my at least moderated child support, man. I don't think he's ready for the responsibility. Are you ready for the responsibility, my son? You're a father. I am father. I am trusting you. I will carry your legacy. I will. Mav, you'll be, for now on, my, technically my only moderator. I'm not joking. Thank you, father. Worry not, my son. What? My son is ready to pass my torch. I will take father's business from him someday in the far future. And you're sure to learn well. It was my idea for you to be his son. God forgot. I didn't get credit. No, he was my son. Chat, I'm one game away from greatness. Why didn't Mama get mod? I'm as clueless as you. Yes, okay. Because I am Diablo's son. He's actually. He's my son. Oh, it's great. Do you have Discord? Yes, I do have Discord. Down below you can get into my Discord link on the description of my channel. Okay, we got mixed with Nav in the hospital. Can you give link? Yeah, sure. There we go. Father, I join your Discord. You're learning much today, my son. He's the son of a crazy man called Evil Diablo. Champagne is really after the moderator. Holy shit. We're doing floor 14 already. Damn, this is really easy. Oh, fuck. There are critters. Father, we don't give moderators to beggars. We give it to who's worth it. That's true words, my son. That's some true words. Oh, that's... Where is Mom? Mom ran away. Left us. Exactly. She left us. Holy shit. Come on, Rice Ball Cat. I'm Mom. No, you're not. Oh, is this level entirely... Oh, come on. I am stepbrother. I will be best mod. Okay, this is still doable. I never left. I was watching from the shadows. I remember when you pooped your pants now. Father, why do we have so much children now? We have... There's so many... I did so much sex back in my day. This metal shit is annoying, by the way. Oh damn, 2 rare tickets. Okay, let's do this shit then. Since it's all metal, we can go with some critters and Metal Killer. Metal Killer, we have business partners. Mama, he needs to get the entire bloodline for more legendary. We can get a tank, and like Island Cat. Oh fuck. Oh, we have Neneko. That's right. I don't know why I would do that, but we got Neneko as well. Backhoe Cat. Okay, maybe. That's good, but I barely upgrade my critter. Wait, anti-metal. What do I have anti-metal? I don't have shit. Okay, wait. How cat? Yes, that's. Father only loved me, bro. I was on 8 bits to become mod with the king. Just let me be mod. Jesus Christ, these people are so hungry to be mothers. I am a good boy. Jesus Christ. She's. Father only loves me. I feel so divided. What should I do? Why is everyone doing? I don't know what to do. Okay, I need Mitchell to become a mod. I'm a mod in a lot of streams. Oh, that kid saw me. I'm the only one who gave him a legend there. So I have biological bother. I know the stream boo bot. No, the biological mother exists, okay? Without being that guy, I have a girlfriend, so holy shit. Oh my god. Okay, so I don't know what to bring. So you cheated on a wife to get a girlfriend. Yes, that's what I did. I cheated on my wife to get a girlfriend. Father had new abusive girlfriend. Father has new abusive girlfriend that hits me when he's not looking. If I don't give her 3 legend rares. Oh, that's what you've been doing! I'm gonna have a conversation with both of you. But shut on his wife. I can only supply 2 every time, so I have a lot of bruises hidden. What the fuck is this? Oh, that week you hear clapping in the house. That's what you hear. I thought you were getting laid, son. I thought you were getting laid. I didn't do anything because your mother told me you're getting laid. I'm so disappointed. I was so proud of you. I might remove your moderator privilege. I think I will remove moderator privilege from you. Laid. I thought you were getting laid. I'm mad friend. I will give you another legend. I swear. I'm second best. I don't. Oh, shh. I'm second best choice. I'm not looking for mod. Who is called guy with back in mods? Who? Who is called guy in the mods? Father only loves me. Ghost Hunter. Bro, I really need to watch Ghostbusters again. I know Ghost Hunter is not the same thing, but he doesn't like normie. Father only loves me. Father only loves me, not your kind. I I only like people with more than more than 600 user rank. I don't like people with more than 600 user rank. I'm just thinking of those stupid white people. I am a proud whatever race my father is. With more than 600, no, 6,000, 6,000. Only 6,000 plus. Okay, no life. Okay, let's see if this plan works. I believe by the power of disappointment from my son, I will be able to complete with this. Through heaven and earth, I am alone. Oh wait, I am going to lose already. This is not looking great. Not going to lie. Through heaven and earth, I am alone, the sunniest one. Mab, the great aka first mother in Diablo Live. Guys, I don't think this will work. I don't think I can do this. I am Satoru Gushu. RNG God level category. This shit is so shit, bro. Let's see. We got this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. I don't know who this guy is. And a bunch of critters. We're gonna get Moneko. All metals will be fucked by Sonia's. I mean, cat guys. Wait, this cat guys does anything? Wait, guys, I'm. You guys can see what I'm doing. We want to see cat guy. Cat clan heroes. Cat heroes good pick. 5 cat pros right now. I want to see it. Okay, let's see how good is creature. This shit is so trash. This shit is so shit. 3% crit. What the fuck? Doesn't Twitch ban and trust? Doesn't Twitch ban and trusted website? That's why this site is not banned, because it's trusted. Okay, so that shit is shit. So let's see Catwell. Catwell. Fish cat. Gray fish cat. I think, yeah, I misspoke. I misclicked. 2%. This shit is so shit. This shit is so shit. Backhoe. Backhoe. How good is Backhoe? Backhoe cat. Backhoe, he had 50%. That's still not good enough. Father, can I have more water, please? Twitch is desert place for us. Everything is bad. Don't worry, this is a safe place. You can say shit and fuck and other words that are prohibited. You shall get 1 sip of water. Max. I'm still very disappointed that you're not getting a maiden. You are maidenless. Let me be mother and be daddy of the three. You guys are getting too freaky. You guys are getting too freaky. What the fuck is this, bro? Neneko, how much percent does Moneko and Neneko have? Moneko has 50% and 20 at max, but I don't have it. And Neneko. What the fuck was that?
Champagne NG just cheered 1 bits. Mod PLS, thanks, Champagne NG.
Did you really? Did you? Nah. Did you really? Holy shit. I'm good mod, believe me. Father only loves me. Okay, you're going to be a very specific I'm going to mod you, but because this is you've been the first person to ever donate bits, you know, bits. Bro, really want to become a mod? It's not that deep, like that you see. Father, I have 5 wives. You have 5 wives? Damn, bro. I am very proud of you. You may eat dessert today. Today you're gonna eat dessert. Mav, I'm gonna give you so much. What happened there? I saw something. I thought the message has been removed or something. I got scared. Okay, so Neneko also have 50%, so I might use Neneko, Moneko, and do the combo. I got another cat food. We can use business partner. We can use Jurassic Cat and lastly Fair Rope. Wait, how does Fair Rope do? Fair Rope, Jump Rope. Who is the other 6 viewers? Where are here only 3, by the way, to be honest? I don't know. Station from Demon Slayer 10. I got another cat food. Oh, that's nice. He has 3%, but he's spammable, so I might as well. No, 7 already. Damn, bro. This has been a very productive stream. So this loadout is very shit. I hope this works. Let me be freaky. No. No one is allowed to be freaky. I have 500 wife, father. Now I don't believe you. Are you trying to get the stuff from me? A crit! We got a crit! Throwing stuff. I know your bitch ass is not having 500 wives. I was already skeptical of the first 5 wives you have. Heck, I was skeptical if you have 2 wives. This is going to be RNG hell. This is RNG hell. I hate the RNG, by the way. If you guys don't know. I am a RNG hater. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm getting banned. The main expansion, RNG. Fucking, this is worse than hell. Oh, wait, I don't even know it. Finally, what? This is hell. Oh, let's go! Oh, let's go! Come on! Come on, Chris, motherfucker! It is not. Why I barely hit any crit? Okay, nice, dude. Oh fuck! Come on! I hate creep. Hello, Goofy. You're still here, bro. Goofy, I'm doing craters. I'm using craters against metal. Are you happy now? Are you happy, Goofy? Are you proud of me? On God, finally woke up. Father, this level is easy. Yes, I know. That's why I'm almost finishing it. Look at this. If critical hit is your power, who are you without it? I am nothing. Funny enough, I think most of the damage was dealt by Speedman. I got to know the cat fruit. That's cool. Yeah, this feels like really weird game. Okay, well, I think I won. I think I won. I hate this. Nobio reaching to red cat for seat. Holy fuck. Okay, let me just copy, replace, and let's do this one. I never did this one. Get tickets. Holy shit. It's your fault that I'm getting them. Oh, hello there. Hello, sir. We are not buying. 50 straight. Oh, that's so cool. Finally, we are not getting more critical hell. I didn't know if I could survive more with creatures around me. Boo! Hello, Bernard. How are you, bro? Father, have you watched Jujutsu Kaisen? No, I have not watched Jujutsu Kaisen yet. My timing is not incredible. But I don't know if I will watch Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't know if I have the stomach.
Darkburn is 30 sound. Toothless dancing short fade out.
Fine, and you? I am very well. I just got the best unit in this game. With around 0.9% to get. So right now I am great. I feel like a god. Kratos is easy for me. Like I got to the Nagi and that guy from Evangelion Legend Res. Oh, you mean the other one? That is like the Epic Quest version of the Nagi, right? I have barely any knowledge about how that works. Floor 16. I don't know how floor 16 is going to be.
Mob_mob_mob show us what you got. The long faces, Jane, highest CE output, Jane Juliet on YouTube, Jane Juliet.
Is that copyrighted? Because if it is, I don't know if I can show. I don't know. Risk it. Risk it for the biscuit. Wait, let me see. Okay, check copyright. There is a check copyright one here. Okay. It's free. It's free. We don't need to worry about copyright. Let's go. That's so cool.
Won the devil got your hand for good luck to hold the honeysuckle.
Do you guys hear? Do you guys hear? I want to make sure that you guys hear.
Won.
We can hear. Let's go.
Won the devil got your hand for good luck to hold the honeysuckle rose as she
I don't know what this is.
down, reading the paper, reading the world right round, and her eyes record the sweet surprise of those who died that day, leaving her breathless, leading her head to the grave.
What was I in? Yeah. I thought.
And Jane, you're early, your life's work is dirtied by the fools who adore you, only to find you out. They saw you dressing in the back room, now they'll pay what they owe you. It's only small change red on the green, green grass. Won't the devil take you back for more, to open closed doors and keep the good from the great, evil and equal, seeking to kill and create. How grand the milk and honey land is on her tongue again. Taste of the violence, trying to silence her head.
He buried that shit. Am I the only one who does this project? Yeah.
Jane, you're early,
very nice.
portrait of your
Oh, it
face
falls.
in the mirror,
Falls again.
smiling with fright.
Holy crap.
Jane, you're early.
Okay,
Your
now
life's work is dirtied by the fools who adore you, only to find you out. They saw you dressing in the back room. Now they'll pay what they owe you. It's only small change red on the green, green grass.
okay, that was cool actually. Okay, that was actually cool. Oh, this is going to be Angels. Gojo vs Sukuna. I'm not. I mean, if you use your point, I might watch it. I don't think I have problems with Angels before. Ken, come on! I should have upgraded my wallet beforehand. Oh fuck. That shit is not looking good. I have 11 blue cards. Okay, come on! Oh, he's too close! No! No! Ah, I'm playing so badly. No, I thought he was going to attack. Fuck. I'm doing ship damage with Courier Cat and hoping for no knockbacks from the horde. That is, if you will win, I will become mode. I don't think I can win with this loadout. Oh wait, I retract my statement. But it's okay if I clip you and send it to my friends and other people. You are free to do whatever you want. I'm not stopping you from doing what you wish for. As long as your wish is not to disappoint me. Okay, let's go. I love you, Pop. I love you, son. Oh fuck. Why did I try to be cool? Fuck, I tried to stop with the attack to let my cat can survive a little longer, but Ken can fail the attack because of the cannon. Okay, come on, clean it. Beautiful. As always, it's beautiful to watch him cook. I actually won. Look at versus seed. We're getting seeds. Yay, I become mod. No, you didn't. I never said you were going to. Yo, father, tell me, son. Everyone loves you. Oh, that's so sweet of you to say. Oh, Champagne. You're an inspiration to us. That's so sweet of you, my son. I love y'all, guys. Man, I fucking hate this butterfly. This bot did anything but desirable little shit. Oh fuck. Oh fuck.
Mob underscore mob underscore mob. Show
Five
us what you
viewers,
got.
5
Lady
loyal
Gaga, Judas,
viewers.
Sukuna
That's
versus
what I-
Satoru
that's what
Gojo. Lyrics
we want.
English, Espanol.
After this, father, please. I will watch it. After we get done with Symbiote. I forgot his name. Symbiote Bonbon. That's right. I know. I know my cat. I know my cat. I know my battle cat. There's too much cat. Alien Bonbon. No, this is Symbiote Bonbon, isn't it? I don't think there's any alien Bonbon. This is Symbiote Bonbon. Okay, I think we got the consistency here. Okay, we got it, Yeah, GG, GG. Izanagi, Dark Lord Garu, come on. Can you guys take longer? Can you guys take any longer? Holy shit. Finally! God damn it! That was close. Oh fuck, we're using too much. Oh, let's go! Okay, let's see what you guys saw. Smash or Punch the Battle Cat Edition Lin from the Galaxy Girl. I don't know. Never seen her. Stepfather, can I show you a fan-made anime? You will probably... Sure! No, it's an Haki! Okay, I need to see. Banban Symbiote! I was close! God damn it. Banban Symbiote. Let's see, Lady Gaga, Judas. Lyrics English, Spanish. Okay, great. This is going to be a reaction channel from now on. Here it is. It is copyrighted. Let's see. YouTube copyright checker. Let's see. Okay, seems good to me. Let's see. This is not loading. Okay. Judas? From the Bible?
Judas, 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 Gaga.
I didn't know Gojo actually fought the Super.
Judas, 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 Gaga. When it comes to me, I am ready. I watch
Oh, I
his
know
feet with
this
my
music,
heavy
okay.
knees. Forgive him when his tongue lies to his brain. Even after 3 times he betrays me. I'll bring him down.
Yeah.
Bring him down, down. I'll kick with no crown. Kick with no crown. I'm just a body full of baby. So cruel, but I'm still in love with Judas, baby. I'm just a body full of baby. So cruel, but I'm still in love with Judas, baby.
Yeah. Well, he's actually fights back.
I couldn't love a man so purely. Even prophets forgave his goofy
I kind
ways.
of know something from
I've learned love is like a brick you can
I have a few
build a house or sink a dead body.
knowledge. A little bit of knowledge.
I'll bring 'em down, down.
But I didn't know about this part.
I'll kick with no crown, kick with no crown. I'm just a body full of baby, so cruel, but I'm still in love with Judas, baby. I'm just a body full of baby, so cruel, but I'm still in love with Judas, baby.
Damn. Gojo is keeping that. Okay, he was keeping that reaction. That's different. That's good different. It is the domain class.
In the most biblical sense, I am beyond
There's this,
repentance. Bang
going
hooker,
that
prostitute, wench, vomit her mind.
With
But
Bo
in
and
the
Red
conjugal
and
sense, I just speak in future tense. Judas kissed me of offense, to where it comes the next time. I wanna love you, but something's
This guy's
pulling
everything.
me away
So
from
big.
you.
Why
Jesus
that
is my virtue.
symbolic.
And
They're
Judas
fighting arena.
is the
The arena
demon
is the
I
entire
cling
speed.
to. I cling to just a body full of baby. It's so cruel, but I'm still in love with Judas, baby. I'm just a body full of baby. It's so
Honored one. All of purple. Oh, he died. Oh no. And he's dead. It's so sad. Jojo. Kit Kat. Okay. DMs. Okay, I thought that someone sent me something. We got a few people here. And Bernard is also streaming. Okay, Scrap bro, fuck you! I just saw the name and nah, we cannot have a fucking metal brawler. We cannot have a metal brawler. That's where I draw the line. How much time is left on it ended. Maybe we'll react then play. Maybe you do more react than play. I don't know. Daddy Hollow Purple coming up. Hollow Purple. You can. Was that the pick? Was that pick? That was absolute pick. Talking about pick, I might stream pick if you guys want. Fuck them at clap. I say you would hate them. I sent 3. Father, why is clipping not working? I don't know. You've been clipping so far, and I didn't mess with that. Bro, you send me Brawlo with straight metal, and I already fucking hate you. That shit is not happening. Why is everything metal? I scrolled a bit, and I saw straight image of fucking metal. A fucking metal brawler. A metal. Okay, this guy is not that bad. Okay, let me just. I'm gonna share the image. We have this guy. This guy is not that bad. It's annoying, sure, but it's not that bad. This guy is in the same tier. To me, it's in the same tier. Let's see.
Gluttneil_void just wanted to say. Twitch? Never heard of it.
Twitch? Never heard of it. Or even hold Chinchu to Showdown. And then we have this motherfucker over here. Who is this? Who invited you? You're not welcome. Leave. Bro, who invited this motherfucker? What is that? I don't know. A metal brawler. This shit is crazy. Thank God there's no metal brawler. Not gonna lie, it's my beautiful creation. Your beautiful creation needs to put needs to go into the burner again and keep burning. Suggestion. Metal roll. I think that's caused by a psychological torture. Suggestions. Suggestiones. Suggestion. Oh wait, I got to use the rank too. I will gag her, by the way, for bad behaving. Okay, let me see enemies.
Mov_Mov show us what you got. MMV, Culling Game, Jujutsu Kaisen X-Man with a mission on you.
Okay, I'm watching. I'm seeing what is this. By the way, it's my reaction. Wait. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. I'm looking at suggestions. Bro, you know what would be scary? A cyber bear mixed with assassin bear. Teacher cyber bear. Will it be different in stats? Nah. You know what would be crazy? Crazy cat, crazy cat but pixel art. Metal assassin bear. Metal assassin bear. That would be insane. That would be scary. That would be scary. That would be psychological horror. But that would be mental. Calling game Sinjo Showdown. I think I will leave it to the next stream because I'm about to end it. It's already getting a bit late. Okay, so Crazy Cat pixel art. I might actually do that. I'm kind of a pixel artist myself. Father, where is my reaction? Angry. You'll get your reaction in the next stream. Got it? I paid for reaction. The reaction is still here, okay? It's just for the next stream, okay? We're gonna be civilized about it. What if I'm not there? Okay, so is this how it's going to be? Sure. So I'm going to reimburse you. I'm gonna give your points back. And then in the next stream, you request it again, okay? Okay, I rejected it. So, now I'm going to rate someone. Is someone doing battle cats? Maybe? Is it? By category, battle cats. No one is streaming battle cats. Damn. Where's my point? Ending stream? Damn, I just got in. Sorry, bro, but it's already time. I'm gonna send you guys to watch Peak, okay? You not given me my points. It's probably delayed. Oh, we got this guy. This guy is playing Peak. When is next stream? Every weekend I stream. I stream every weekend. Maybe once, maybe twice. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Tomorrow I will not be able to. I will not be able to stream tomorrow. But I stream every weekend. Around 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Bye, Father. I love you. I love you all. See you guys next stream.